Good morning, sisters and allies. It is so exciting to be here. My name is Holly Holiday, and I am the president of Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote. And we are here this morning with a special announcement. Listen, it has been a wild and crazy week, but boy, has it been a good time. I'm excited to say that I, like many of you, was one of the 44,000. Well, let's be honest. It was really more closer to 100,000 Black women and allies who were part of a Sunday night experience to support our Vice President, Kamala Harris, on her nomination by the Democratic Party to be our next President of the United States. So on the heels of that, what could we do? Well, let me tell you, we would not be Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote. We would not be the organization dedicated to making sure that we are supporting the political voices of Black women wherever they may be if we did not bring you some more information about not just Vice President Kamala Harris, who will be the next Democratic nominee and then the next President of the United States, if we did not also make sure that you had all the information that you need to know about the other amazing Black women running for office this year. And so I should have came with some drum roll effects. Would it be cheesy if I just tapped on the desk? But drum roll, please, because we are so excited to announce the release today of our Black Women Candidates 2024 Mid-Year Report. And you can get it right now. Simply go to our website, sistersleadsistersvote.org. Click on Black Women Ran, and right there at the top, you will see the information you've been waiting for. All the current report as of the end of June of all the amazing Black women running for office this year. And let me tell you something, what an exciting year it will be. This data represents, in fact, the roots of how Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote got started and supports our mission to support and amplify Black women's political leadership and their voices. What we know for sure is that running for office is one of the highest forms of political leadership, not the only form, but certainly one of the highest. And we want to make sure that you know about all of these amazing candidates, because here's the truth. Win or lose, their candidacy represents leadership in our community. And it's leadership that Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote wants to make sure that the nation knows and respects. Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote and our board of directors stand firm for some very core principles. One, to elect Black women in every state, to elect a Black woman governor, to confirm a Black woman to the Supreme Court, and to elect a Black woman president. These were the ideas that we had in 2018 when we started Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote. And I'll be darned if we haven't achieved, if we are not on our way to achieving half of them. And then we'll start working on the other two. Let's take a look back and note that when we started Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote, it was at a time where we were seeing Black women's vote outperform the electorate share. We were looking at a solid, we had solidified our position as a solid, reliable voting bloc. But frankly, I don't know that we felt like we were getting all the benefit from our power. And so we joined hundreds of other Black women to decide to do something about it. And we have been not only pushing and supporting Black women's leadership through our organization, but working collaboratively with a ton of other organizations, as well as thousands of sisters from around the country. This 2024 Black Women's Candidate Mid-Year Report is a crucial document and that we want to make sure you all have access to. So don't forget to go to the website. It has been curated to reflect information as of June 25th. It is a key resource, not for just for understanding the progress and challenge of Black women candidates right now, today, in its current landscape. This cycle, we have tracked over 900 900, you heard me, 900 women who are seeking office. We do this work so that it helps us to understand and address disparities between Black women candidates and other candidates. It helps us to develop strategy to know how to level the playing field. But the most important thing is it helps us to continue to revise and edit the playbook that defends against race and gender-based attacks. What we know for sure is that when our community is well informed, they are well armed to inoculate themselves against mis and disinformation. I also, before we get into some of the candidate stuff, let me share, while this report is super focused on Black women candidates and some of the insights that we've gained so far, we also want to spotlight some of the incredible other political leaders in this nation. You know, one of the things that helps our political engine run are our parties. And I specifically want to outline and to celebrate some of the hardest working women in politics, and that is the Black women state party chairs. Now, at this point, only Democrats, all of the state party chairs are Democrats, but we look forward to Republicans getting in this mix with us and smartening up and recognizing that Black women's leadership should be valued. Until then, let's support the 6 women who are serving as chairs now. Nikema Williams of Georgia, Jenna Repass of Kansas, Lavora Barnes of Michigan, Danielle Monero of Nevada, Rosette Coquette of Oregon, and Crystal Spain of South Carolina. We look forward to seeing what your leadership evolves as we go through this 2024 cycle. Now, I'm not going to stay long, but I have to give you just a little bit of a sneak peek about what you can expect in this report this time. We want to let you know that in this report, you'll find out that we have Black women candidates in 48 states this year, recognizing that with this cycle, if you look over the last 4 cycles, we've had at least one Black woman run for office in every state in the union, every single state. Yes, including Alaska. Yes, including Montana, Idaho, maybe some places that you didn't even realize that Black women's leadership existed. Well, it's true. They are there. And out of the 900 women that we have tracked, 677 have already had their primary elections. That means we still have a few primary elections to go. So this list will continue to develop. However, based on where we are today, 72, almost 73% of Black women, those 677, have won their primary and are headed into the general. We could not be more excited. I'll also give you a sneak peek that we have a lot of growth in the political leadership. How do we know? Because of the 900 women that we've tracked running for office this year, only 318 of them are incumbents. Only 318. So we know that the almost 2/3 of the women running for office this year are running as challengers, which really creates a great opportunity for us to expand. I'm so excited. I can't even talk. Expand our representation, which is honestly what it's all about. I'm not going to ruin the whole report for you, but I do want to make sure that you know that you can get it in case you missed it at Sisters Lead, sistersvote.org. Black Women Ran. Make sure you hit that link and tab. You're going to see an amazing case study. I'm not going to ruin it on Senate candidate Angela Brooks. It's important to really understand some of the things that are happening right now in real time that are stopping our Black women from being able to fairly participate in elections. But despite having to overcome these challenges and hardships, despite having to fight through mis and disinformation, despite having to fight through unfair gender and race-based attacks, despite having to overcome barriers of this traditional viewpoint around who's electable and who's not, we are still seeing women, Black women, figuring out a way to overcome all of these tremendous barriers. I want to say, as I close out, a special thank you to some really important people who are a part of our Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote team. First, Jalen Maxey, who's been our primary data consultant and has helped us research, we find these candidates everywhere. Sometimes we just even call folks up and say, are there any Black women running in your area? We do all the things, and Jalen Maxey is at the head of that. L. Simone Henderson, who is our program director, Chantel Mullen, who helps us with our special projects. I cannot forget the amazing Holly Weeks, who leads our digital communication, and Linda Paris, who has been our communication advisor for so many years. All right, well, I said I wasn't going to keep you long, and I meant it, but don't forget to take a little bit of time out and go to our website right now so that you can get the Black Women Candidate 2024 mid-year report. Find out where Black women are running for all the offices, not just at the top of the ticket, but we track everything. So you want to know if you have Black women running for city council, we have you. And let me tell you, while this report helps you get an overall picture of what you can expect and what the landscape looks like for Black women, to really get the good stuff, I mean the stuff where you're like, who's in my state? You want to know their names and their faces and maybe even a little bit about their stories. Well, in order to get that information, you've got to follow us on social media. So if you're not already following us, or maybe you are, make sure you let your friends know if they want the real tea on Black women candidates and where they're running and all the places and spaces. Make sure you hit us up at Sisters Lead pretty much everywhere. That is YouTube. You can hit us up on Facebook. You can hit us in IG. You can hit us up on LinkedIn. All the spaces at Sisters Lead. And if that isn't enough, if that doesn't help get you going, well, let me tell you, you do not want to miss our podcast. That's right. We'll be doing interviews with folks. We've already just recently dropped, I think today we dropped a really exciting interview with Kansas Democratic Party Chair Jenna Repass. I told you we were talking to some hot star superheroes. I mean, these are the people who power our elections right where we live, and you absolutely want to be able to get to know them. I am so excited. I almost can't stop talking. Don't forget to get the report. Make sure that you get it, share it, link it, pass it around. We're also going to be at the Democratic National Convention, holding it down in the Sisterhood Lounge. So come by and see us. We may have a few copies of the report that you can just pick up and take with you. Whatever you do, we want you to be thoughtful and considerate when you vote, but we want to make sure that part of that consideration is the amazing 900, yes, say it with me, 900 Black women candidates seeking office this year. Whew. As you can see, I've been busy and I got a lot more work to do. So continue to join us. Check out the website and we'll be back and see you soon. New podcast drops today. I'm out.